right, so if you're over here, then I'm assuming you already watched the first part over on Black Witch Dirah's channel. This is the second part, reacting to Melinda the Mystic Witch, Last Frontier Medium, Melinda Lions, whatever name you prefer to call her by. Video being My Levitating Possession, which she realized that she was levitating in it about halfway through the video. So yeah, we're just kind of picking up where we left off here. Things to kind of go through real quick, starting out. Dirah has clothing line, demonora.com. Maybe we need to spell it out for him, right?
DEMONORA.com, and the link will also be in the description.
There you go. So occult focused clothing, designs done by yours truly. And also a bunch of occult supplies, candles, oils, and probably some other knickknacks and things in there as well, made by Dirah herself. Good quality stuff. So, yeah. My website, addiusday.com, if you're looking for shadow work, spiritual services focused on bettering the self, and artwork, like if you want some custom artwork for, again, like, you know, your altar or, you know, anything. That I say that again because I said that at the beginning of her video, so for me it's again, for you it's the first fucking time. So yeah, so custom artwork for your altar, ritual space, home, whatever, hit me up, tell me what you want, and then we'll talk about what we can put it on. Also here in the near future, in the next couple of months, I'm hoping that between the two of us, we're going to be offering custom statues for your altar. So they're going to be 3D resin printed statues. So we'll have things like Lilith, Lucifer, maybe even some custom Baphomet, because I think Baphomet desperately needs like a new vibe compared to the statues that are out there, because they're all pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So maybe like a big one with them actually standing up on the hoof feet, like that would be kind of cool, right? Wings spread out and shit, right? More power position, right? Give them a big old, yeah. So why not? So yeah, looking for that. Look for that stuff. Go to the website addiusday.com, blackwitchdirah.com, blackmagicdirah. Like we need to like standardize that. So blackmagicdirah.com for her ritual services, for some of her coursework that's available there. Coursework with her will probably maintain for a while we're still building our witch skills. Witch skills is a big undertaking. It's a huge project. We had honestly underestimated the amount of work that was going to be necessary to produce the product and service that we wanted to produce. So we just ask that you guys be patient while that's under development, because it is still actively under development, and there will be active updates. You can join a mailing list. You can go to the website. They put your email in. You know, you'll get updated as soon as it goes live again. So there's just a lot that, you know, we're doing in the background with that, and a lot we're adding in. There's the general occult course. There's a tarot program. There's the Satanism course. There's the demonolatry course done by, you know, taught by Dirah herself. And there will be herbal magic, right? So herbal magic studies, just a lot of things going on. That it's going to cover. Each one of these are a certificate. They're certificate programs. And by essentially completing all of them, there's a generalized certification that you get. And this isn't about, like, I think it's important to mention about witch skills. Witch skills isn't about developing your belief system. It's about developing your knowledge of the origins of the things that we work with or the things that we revere. Right? It's about going into that background and having an extremely deep understanding with a spiritualized focus, right? It's not the only course out there that focuses on these things. But a lot of the other courses out there that focus on those things in such a way that it's very dry and it's very detached from the spiritual aspect of it, right? It's very matter of fact. This is what's written. This is, we as practitioners and believers of the things that we work with, that we revere, that we dedicate ourselves to, are adding to this that aspect of it, the experience of going in and saying, we've worked with this entity, right? We've worked with this thing. We've done this ritual. We've created our own rituals. And that's kind of like where the differential comes in, right? It's not complete theory on the basis of how to do ritual and magic, which is most other courses. It's not pure history, like actual university courses on the occult. There are occult-focused actual university courses, but they're very dry and detached from the spirituality of it. This is kind of taking both sides of this and putting it together as we believe it should be, right? Because the people that want to take these types of courses, to take the time to get to know this history, to get to understand it, are people that want to take that history and work with it, right? And have a better understanding of that history and how to apply it, right, in a practical way. And so that's kind of what Witch Skills is focuses. That's the niche that Witch Skills is trying to fill, right? Is providing that, which honestly, through everything that I've seen online, I have not seen anything that covers those bases in that way. So please do be patient. It is coming, and it's I don't want to say too soon, but we just want to make sure that there's a quality product being put out to you guys that's worth your time and your money that you're going to be paying to be a part of it. Let's see, what else? The clothing, Adversary of My Adversary, Friday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Also, Apocrypha, Saturday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Dirah is now a staple on the show. She's I almost called you a third wheel.
Oh, right, okay.
So she is a permanent fixture on Apocrypha. So it is a 3-person show now, and it is a pleasure having her on. Her insights are invaluable. And Satan and Coffee, Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. All these are Central Standard Time. Is still going strong. Had a great show last Sunday. My first show back after I think 2-3 weeks of not being able to do it. So that was good. And yeah,
I was napping in the background.
She was napping in the background, which is a treat for all of you. She did wave.
While I was awake, not asleep, I wasn't like Melinda. I waved in my sleep, but I didn't realize.
Right.
You'll have to watch the first part to get that joke.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of references in this episode, in the second part here that reference the first one. So, and that's also another thing. If you're catching this one first, stop. Go over to Dirah's channel, watch the first part first, and then come back over here and watch the second part. Otherwise, a lot of the wise cracks that we're going to make aren't going to make any fucking sense. So, with that being said, let's get into the second part of this. So, for those that don't know, so this is where we paused off on the first part of the video at the end of it. Basically, Melinda kind of putting up some information on Belial, which is funny. She calls him Belial, even though she has the pronunciation for Belial down on the side here. I did also think that was weird. It says which means without worth. That's yeah. Because I do remember it means without a master, right, or no master, right? So we're gonna keep watching this and keep breaking it down and breaking it apart. Glitchy title. So spooky.
Spooky.
Right? Edgy. Oh, more glitches. More glitches. And so, all right, as a designer, the fun part is I know exactly what plugin they use to do that in After Effects, which you can also use it in Premiere Pro, but I know exactly what plugin they did. There's two plugins that they use to do this, to give it that kind of red TV kind of vibe, and then the glitches. And I know the glitches because they're standardized glitches, right? So it's like the same kind of glitch. Like if you just overlay it, you can change it and customize it, but they didn't. They just used, they said, oh yeah, that looks good.
He is
That's spooky.
king, a descended king. He's a king devil. I call him a devil because, frankly, most demons do not have this ability. And usually when they're at king level hierarchy, they are devil rank. So out of habit, I still call them demons, but I can tell without a doubt these kings are devil ranks. When I saw him, he was
Devil's not a rank. King is a rank.
Mm.
And yes, like Belial is a king. One of them. How many are there?
Depends on the system. You have in the Lesky of Solomon, you have the ranked kings, but you also have the cardinal kings as well.
Hmm. Okay.
People forget about the cardinal kings.
Belial's like one of the
main kings in the Lesky
Yeah.
Key. So he was in the Lesky of Solomon. You've got Belial, you've got Baal, you've got Person, Haemon, Beleth. And can't remember the rest off the top of my head. But he's amongst the 72.
Is it Baal or Baal?
Interchangeable, but in the Goetia he's named as Baal.
Okay, so it's Bael, not Baal.
Mm.
Okay, because I've seen both spellings.
Yeah, that's the same.
Yeah.
Same demon.
Yeah, it's just weird calling a demon Ball. Like, what kind of ball is he? Is it football, basketball, baseball, golf ball? Like, you know.
Oh, dear.
What's his favorite sport? So yeah. Again, pronunciation, guys. Like, I like to focus on pronunciation of the names to make sure that, like, when I do decide to work with something, that is what I'm calling on. I think that getting the phone number right, getting the web address right is the most important part when working with anything, gods, demons, whatever. Get the fucking name right. Do a little bit of research. Don't go off of what other people say. Like, you know, look into it, right? Can you not decide whether you're cold or hot?
Yeah, I keep getting hot and cold.
Right. Hot flashes. Gotcha.
Menopausal. I'm not that old.
completely red on his face in some cases, and also some white, gaunt white. And then on his waist down was fur.
A big old
Did
dick.
he have goat legs? I thought he did.
Sorry.
And I was also too afraid to look down because I didn't want to be distracted by his appearance, because after what he had already done, I did not.
Right? I didn't want to look down. Like, but wait a minute. Wait. Look down. Is she trying to insinuate that she was taller than Belial? Like, wasn't she like laying down?
I think she was talking about his because she's in the astral realm now. She's not in her body, so she's meeting Belial in the astral realm. So she's not in her body. Her body's still in some fucked up. It might still be levitating. We don't know. She could be sleepwalking. Like, there's just so many inconsistencies here. We just don't know what the fuck is happening. But I think when she was saying looking down, I think she was like looking at his lower body, and she didn't want to look down at it in case she saw his pee-pee, and got too distracted.
Right. I was like, I don't want to look at his penis. I don't want to give him any ideas. Right. It's like,
Bit late for that. He was inside your asshole, apparently.
Yeah, right.
This is so crude.
It is. That's about to get worse on my channel now. Yeah, well, Belial is usually represented with black skin, right?
He's come to me as very pale.
Yeah.
Very pale, yeah. It's quite funny. A complete sidetrack here. I recently, probably about a month ago, I made a post about Belial, and I kind of just I used a picture of him, then I quoted some gnosis that he gave me, and it was just some art that I found. I try and look for art that isn't grimoire based when I make those kind of posts. I found this art and I thought, yeah, that's a cool picture, I'll use that. And someone was like, why are you using a picture of a white man? Belial is said to be black with red eyes. He was like, you're racist. And I was like, demons don't have a fucking race, you idiot. And like when they say black skin, it's not like, a dark shade of brown like human beings are. We're talking like fucking jet black skin. That's not to say Belial was fucking African. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just like the brain rot, the absolute fucking brain rot.
Exactly.
Anyway, on that note, demons are formless. They can appear however the fuck they want.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I mean, I was only asking because I was like crack a joke, but I can't crack it now because it won't make any sense.
Right.
Yeah. So because.
Oh, sorry, I ruined that for you.
And like saying like once you go Belial, you don't go back doesn't work.
Oh dear.
All right, let's keep going.
Not want to lose sight of where he was the whole time. I didn't want to lose sight of being on guard. So I never did
looking
see
at his
that,
dick, you're not gonna
but
lose
the
sight of him.
fur definitely was an indication that he was trying to frighten me. Also, that this is probably how he appears to a lot of humans. Now, how he appeared to me was really, really creepy because at one point he had these smaller horns. And I'm going to show you an image here of what he looked like to me. To me, he looked like this. But the thing is that I asked him, why are you appearing like this? I know deep down you're not human, so why are you appearing like this and not your true self?
Because demons don't have form.
His voice was very deep, very creepy, but beautiful in a weird way. That was a trigger for me because when they do that, that usually means that they're trying to win you over. But also he's a fallen angel. So he still has the ability to have somewhat of a nice voice, but it didn't last long. And that's when he spoke and he said, I know that you struggle with doubt and you struggle to believe in whether or not what you see is real. He knew this about me because it's true. And he said, I wanted to make sure that when you see me, you'll recognize me, that you'll know this is real. And I went, oh. And I went, huh. I said, clever. Thank you. I was actually, I know that sounds weird, but I actually was grateful that he did that because that did help me to believe that it was a real encounter. I know that sounds insane to people who may not understand how this experience was, and maybe you're new to all of this. But when you encounter entities so many times as a psychic medium, as a person who had a near-death experience.
Yeah, I really hate that term that she uses, psychic medium. Like her whole list, her whole spiel of qualifications. Psychic medium, near-death experiencer.
Psychosis medium.
Right? Near-death experiencer. You should have just stayed dead.
Oh, gosh.
Like, you should have, like, that's another thing. Near death. Like, I mean, I get the concept of almost dying, right? But, so when people say, there's another term that kind of really bothers me. So when people say, I had an NDE, a near-death experience. No, you didn't. You had a death experience. Like, the people that talk about seeing the white light, you're fucking dead. You didn't have you were fucking dead. You came back, but you were fucking dead. Ask any of them. They're like, yeah, I was legally like, you know, like dead for like fucking 5 minutes. Yeah, you were dead. You wasn't a near death. It's
You
like
died.
right, yeah, right. It's like near miss. Right. It's like when something like when somebody shoots at you and they miss you and they say it's a near miss. So no, that's not a near miss. That's a near hit. A near miss is if I got you right in the middle of the fucking head or I shot you in the eye. Right. That's a near miss. I almost missed, but I got you. Near miss. It's so stupidly put, right? Like, it wasn't a near miss, it was a near fucking hit. It wasn't a near death experience, you were fucking dead. Right? Near death experience is like you're about ready to flatline, but they inject you with the shit just in time and your heart rate comes back and you're good to go. That's a near death experience where you don't see shit. So I'll never understand like the popularity of like using incorrect terminology to describe shit. It's very irritating to me. Right? You're not a near death experience. You're a death experiencer. Which, I mean, in that case, you should definitely try working with Santa Muerte. Like, I would love to see where that one goes. Right? Because she's a saint. She's a saint. She's not a demon. Right?
She's a Catholic folk saint.
There you go. There you go. Melinda, you're not breaking any rules. You're not try it. Try. I'm just saying. By Mexican standards, you're not breaking any rules. Right? I mean, you know, go for it. See what happens.
As a person who is a demonologist who tries to help people stay safe from
Demonologist. No, you're not. It is very obvious that you haven't read a single fucking book about demonology. The only books you have on display in the background are your own fucking books because nobody would buy them.
She has the demon tower back there, doesn't she? That red one. That looks like the demon tarot box. The demon terror box.
You mean the occult tarot?
No, there's a different one. I've got it upstairs.
I don't know if she has. I know that she did a video on the occult tarot. She called them the demon terror cards. But yeah, I don't know if she has that. I mean, that looks like you mean that red box right there?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it looks like it could say demon tarot. Like, possibly. I mean, that's her book. I think that's Demon Dealer or something. And then these ones are probably her book too. That's probably her book. Like, a lot of these books are probably just her books in the background because, like I said, nobody will fucking buy them. So she just has, like, excess. So she's kind of like, I will buy a bunch of them so the sales go up. And so just kind of displays them all over the place.
That would make a good reaction video.
What?
Reading a book.
I won't do it. I won't spend the money on her book. Like, if you can get a copy of it for free, sure. But I'm not spending money on it.
from demons. There are going to be times where you question your sanity. And he knew this about me. So even though he was possessing me, I still thanked him for that. I understand that regardless of what they do, and even though I couldn't stand his energy, I didn't like him, I don't like him, I understand that respect to someone like Belial is important because you can get better results with kindness than you do with hatred or evil intent. I understand that speaking to these entities is very important with respect to them because they are ancient beings, and regardless of how he treated me, I also understand that the more kind you are to them, the less likely, in some cases, if you're lucky, they won't hurt you as bad. Now, that's not entirely 100%, but it's always helpful.
Thoughts?
I'm not gonna lie, I completely zoned out.
So she's saying that when you encounter a demon, if you try to be nice to it.
Oh yeah, I heard that bit. Like, something people need to grasp about demons is that, like, I've said this a lot. You know, they're not your friend. They're also not your enemy. You have every right to not trust demons. It would be foolish of you to kind of take the Christian approach with it and be like, yeah, put my life in your hands. No. You're not you're foolish if it's a case of like, yeah, you know, I completely trust you, because you know, you don't really know what you're dealing with in a lot of ways, especially if you're new to it. This isn't to say that, you know, demons are evil, demons are dangerous. It's a case of like, just don't be naive. So in the case of like being nice to demons and getting better results if you're nice to them, nice doesn't come into it because you're not their friend. It's not that kind of relationship. It's a case of like, you know, it is transactional, and I know a lot of people don't like that because, you know, they feel like they have a real kind of intimate connection. It's okay to kind of feel good about your connection with a demon, because like it can feel really nice. Like it can, the sensation of connecting with a demon energetically can feel very pleasant, but that doesn't simulate real love or an authentic relationship. It's not how it works. Demons aren't your friends. So this is why I'm saying like nice doesn't come into it. Like, you know, when the demon arrives, I don't go, oh, you're so amazing. You know, giving them like loads of compliments. Because if you are so submissive to something that you are inviting into your space, when you run into a trickster spirit that you think is the demon that you want to work with, you're in fucking trouble.
Yeah, definitely. I have nothing to add to that.
In a situation like mine, talking to Belial was frightening. Seeing his presence, his energy was frightening. And I did ask him, what are your expertise? And he said, Melinda, I figured it'd be easy to you by now. And he would not give me answers. And he said, why don't you read me and try to see? He says, I know you can do that. So he started circling me and I started reading his energy. And I started to read him, and a lot of people and angels will advise against this, but I was in a very difficult situation because I had yet been saved by Archangel Michael and the other angels. What people don't understand is that in a matter of minutes on this planet on Earth's time, you could actually be interacting with these entities what feels like hours. So it could feel like a very long time, as if time stopped. So that was why this seemed very long to me, and why all this happened the way it did, and why it wasn't like super rush, because it wasn't. And when I started reading him, I started picking up a lot of hatred, a lot of anger, and his personality, primarily, he values his authority so much. He chose to leave heaven because he's a fallen angel, because he wants control of himself. He doesn't like other beings telling him what to do. He doesn't like that angels are kind. He feels like it's weakness. I also did ask him, you know,
Angels are not kind.
Angels can be absolute fucking savages.
Yeah.
Is this whole like kind and nice stuff coming into it? Like, no.
It's the whole polarity, it's the whole duality thing. Like it's something that I kind of commented on earlier today, kind of like in a Facebook post. We as humans, as people, just as a society, we have this absolute disgusting obsession with duality. Right? In everything we do. Beatles versus Elvis, Pepsi versus Coke, Trump versus Harris, left versus right, red versus blue. Like everything is a fucking duality. Light versus dark, you know, good versus evil. We break everything down into this absolute ridiculous black and white duality that doesn't actually exist. Reality does not exist in a plane of duality. Like it doesn't exist in black and white. it exists in shades of gray. Like and it's really irritating because when people are obsessive about these ideas, you make it so difficult for you to see anything else. Like the whole concept of seeing the forest for the trees, right? It's like, how close to the trees are you? Like, are you just looking at one tree, or are you able to see the whole forest? Are you taking enough of a step back to see the full panorama of what's going on around you? And unfortunately, most people don't. Most people don't take enough of a step back to really fully realize. It's like this, the whole political thing. Like, I don't want to get too far off track with this, but it's a good opportunity to kind of discuss it in brief. In politics, at least especially recently, like everybody thinks that their side is right and the other side is wrong. Everyone thinks the exact same thing. The problem is if you have chosen a side, you are on a side, and you believe that the other side is wrong, you've already lost, because what the government wants to happen is already happening. Right? What the powers to be want to happen has happened. We're turning against each other for stupid reasons, for duality, right? For choosing a side. We're turning against each other. By turning against each other, we're not seeing what's actually happening. And when we talk about angels and demons, it's that same duality. Angels are good, demons are bad. Focus on the duality, light versus dark. And that's not how it works. If you think that that's how it works, then you are very sadly mistaken. If you believe that in the realm of divine and infernal, which in and of itself is a duality, if you believe that those two things are mutually exclusive to one another, that they don't cross over, they don't connect, there's no gray area, that one is good and one is bad, you really need to reevaluate what it is that you're doing and what you're reading and what you're following with. One of the biggest issues that I've always seen with Melinda's content is that incessant necessity to focus on the duality of things, that her and her followers are light workers, light warriors, right? And everything else is dark and evil, and it's the forever ending, like that forever lasting battle of good and evil. The duality exists, and then there are sub aspects, copies of each side that are a little less dramatic. I mean, think about Catholicism, right? Catholicism was broken off into Christianity, and then you had Protestant and Baptist and like any number of other subdivisions of Christianity, and each one focuses on another specific aspect that the previous one had only in part. And it's one of the reasons why they kind of call Protestants like Catholic light, right? It's like the same belief system as a Catholic. It's just half the guilt, right? So it's just funny because you get these spin-offs and these copies of everything, which give you the illusion of choice. Right? You have the illusion that there's more than two options, but you're drawn to the extremes. And it's something that we really, as a society, not just spiritually or in the occult, I mean, especially in the occult, but it's in society. It's something we truly need to start breaking away from. We truly, really do need to stop focusing on things in terms of duality and left and right and up and down and things like that, right? Because it's a limiting focus. Reality in life is everything simultaneously. It is up and down and left and right and light and dark and red and blue. It's all of these things simultaneously. It's everything happening at the same time. And if you're not taking the time to look at and focus and understand and learn everything about every side, then you are limiting yourself. You are willfully ignorant.
Nothing more to add.
Excellent. All right. Wait. Yeah, there's
No,
something.
no.
Okay.
Now, are you telling me that possession is one of your expertise? And he said, finally. It bothered me. It bothered me a lot. But I think that in a lot of ways, he wanted me to know this because I had been questioning possession for quite some time, really wondering what it was like for people, what happens, all that. And even though I had...
Didn't she say before this that she was possessed before? And she showed the video of when she was possessed before?
Yeah, the thumbnail.
But now she's saying that she was wondering what it was like? How are you wondering what it was like if it happened to you before?
Do you think she even watches her own videos back and notices the inconsistencies?
She definitely does because there's a shit ton of jump cuts. So she definitely does edit, but I don't think she necessarily pays attention to what she's saying. I think she just kind of cuts like certain parts out, maybe like the ums or, you know, like dead space where she's like thinking and processing what bullshit she's going to say next. So, yeah.
I'd experienced it before years ago. I was still in a lot of denial because it was so long ago and it wasn't like this experience was. It was different. And I do remember that I said, so you're telling me that you came here just for that? He said, yeah. And I said, are you trying to take me to hell? And he said, you know as well as anyone, I can't take you unless you go willingly. I said, true. But I also know he's a liar because that's not entirely true. And I caught him on this.
And that's another thing. Why is it every with these type of people, like every demonic encounter, like every demon's a liar? And every angel is absolute truth.
Yeah.
Why? Like, when we definitely have even in the Bible where angels lie.
Yeah.
Right? And angels try to, like, you know, trick humans into doing stupid shit and stuff like that. We don't, and they never talk about that. Like, it's in the Bible. I have to look up actual scripture, but there are segments in the Bible where angels become quite mischievous and do some questionable shit on apparently on God's behest. But, you know, like, they're manipulative. I mean, it's the same thing with God. I mean, God is himself is fucking manipulative. I mean, for fuck's sake. I mean, if you look at Satan in the Bible, the only thing Satan ever tried to do is to tell people, hey, why are you listening to him? Like, what was the dude's name that was going to kill his kid? Was that Job?
No, that wasn't Job. That was Abraham.
Abraham. I always keep forgetting that fucker's name. And he's like, he's the one they hate. So yeah, Abraham, like God told him, was like, yeah, you have to kill your son for me. And then God, like Satan shows up. He's like, dude, why are you going to kill your kid? He's like, because God told me to. And then like last minute, God's like, nah, I'm just kidding. Don't worry. You ain't got to kill your kid. It's like.
And then people are like, it's how God tests us.
Oh, right. Yeah, sure. Uh-huh.
Yeah, but if he was all-knowing, why would he need to test us?
Exactly, right? He's, you know...
Because he knows what we're going to do, apparently.
Mm-hmm. He already knows we're going to do what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, whatever. So, like, there is no free will, right? If he already knows, like, what's going to happen, right? Like, so, like, it's all pre-programmed. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
And I said, well, that's also not true because you can't take people to hell if they refuse, but I also know you can still force people to hell regardless because you've done it to many souls that I've
contradicted yourself.
You can't take people
you can't take people to hell if they refuse, but you can still force them.
Now you guys understand why I could never make it through a full reaction. Like, I've only ever done like half reactions. I've only reacted like half of her video at a time because this is the first time where I've almost watched an entire video and I'm already at the point where I'm just kind of like,
I'm yawning.
My brain!
that I've seen. And they tried to do it to me twice. Several times. Eventually Michael had appeared and the other angels had appeared and they were able to fight this entity off and for me to regain my...
Wait, hold up. Because you said that this conversation happened because he was trying to work his way up your rectum, your anus, right? He was all up in your shit, right? You know, violating you with his demon dick or his, you know, Gene Simmons tongue, whatever. And then you managed to get him out of you to have a conversation, right? But before that, he was all up in your shit, and then the angels came and they pulled him out of you. Like we set the scene, right? Like, you know, we had you on all fours, ass up in the air, right? Fucking Belial, like all like 3/4 of the way up your asshole, and Jesus and Gabriel, Jesus, no, not Jesus, fucking Michael and Gabriel, you know, one leg each, trying to pull him out of your, you know, your asshole. And now they're showing up while you're having a conversation. Like, I thought you already had control of your body at this point because he let up to be able to talk to you.
No, what it is she's astral projecting. She's not in her body.
No. Bitch ain't making no sense.
My body. I didn't wake up right away. There was a part where I think I did, and then I went back to sleep. But I was in such a
Just went back to sleep
heavy
after.
sleep that I was so exhausted after it happened that I was having massive headaches. My back hurt, my spine hurt, and I knew that something had happened.
She didn't mention her asshole. She didn't say her back and her head and her back hurt. What about her? I imagine that shit was burning, right? You know, like, I mean, how big was it afterwards? Like, it was like, you know, is it still like puckered up or like, you know?
Oh, why? I don't want to think about that.
But I didn't know exactly yet. I wasn't recollecting everything. And I do remember that after I had been possessed and after I was saved, Archangel Michael was in front of me. I was in my room and there was another angel with me, and they were very gently taking my arms and my legs, and they were dragging out negative energy from this entity, from Belial. And they were sucking out this dark energy, this muck that was left within my body after the possession. And I was really grossed out by it because it really was gross. But at the same time, I was fascinated. And then they would take it, and then another angel would come by and they would collect it, and they would slowly transform it into positive energy, and they would change that. They can't do that into a person necessarily. They have to take that energy out from you first. I felt like I was getting a spa day. It was really weird, but it was so nice that they did this for me, because they continued to massage my hands and then my temples and my arms.
She's so special. She got a spa day massage from Archangel Michael and 2 other dudes you don't know who the fuck they are. Oh, wow. You can't make this shit up.
And my feet.
You can.
And at one point, there was an angel at one point that went from behind me and was dragging energy out from my...
Yep.
Out from my... Go on, let her finish. Out of my...
spine and my back.
It
started to hurt in some cases, but then it felt so much better after it came, like when it was released from my aura, from my energy. I knew that this was necessary, but experiencing it, knowing how the process goes, how does someone heal after it? Wow. And then Michael...
And apparently for like 2 weeks after, she was shitting out Venom's kids.
Stayed while the others went to cleanse the area. They also put up some barriers, psychic barriers.
It's straight up protects some barriers, right? Set up
okay. For quite some time, all around like a dome. They also went to make sure that my daughter was safe, and that I was so grateful for that. And then at some point, Michael began giving me more extra energy that was going into my energy frequency, and it was so sweet, so kind. What it's like to be possessed is unlike anything I've experienced before. Being possessed isn't something that you can just walk away from and go, "Ooh, that was insane." It stays with you. You start thinking about your family more. You start thinking about your faith. You start thinking about love. You start thinking about what's more important, and you really start respecting more of the dangers
I'm
of the
definitely
other
thinking about
side.
what
You
else I
start
could have been doing with my time
respecting
besides
primary
watching this
evil
fucking
in a
video.
different way.
Same.
You're not approving
be in
it,
bed
but
right
you
now.
respect the velocity of it. You respect its power. Not like I never did, but that it gave me different insight to how it works. And there's still some PTSD when I sleep at night. There's still some pain in my body at some points that happen from time to time because of how it went about. Through that whole experience, I know this sounds crazy, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm actually kind of grateful. Oh, really, Melinda? That's the crazy part to me that I still ask myself. I'm grateful. I can't believe I'm
Overactor.
saying this, but I'm actually grateful. I can't believe that I'm actually saying that out loud.
How many times are you going to say you can't believe you're saying it?
For being possessed. But the truth is the more I've been looking at this whole experience, it was traumatizing, it was painful, it was humiliating, it was very traumatizing. And it wasn't necessary, nor was it needed, nor was it good. But despite it, it encouraged me more insight, a deeper reflection of how the process, how it works, how it happens, how a person can heal from it, and how they can overcome it. And for me, personally, on my experience, I don't believe at all that I would have been able to overcome it if it wasn't for Archangel Michael and for the other angels that were present. The love and the support that they gave me was, and they still give me to this day, is so unbelievably beautiful and so undeserving. There's still this part of me where I don't deserve that. I don't deserve their support because they're such beautiful beings. They're so perfect in so many ways, it almost makes you sick. And even though that's not true about them, it gives me more insight to who I could become in my own way through aspiring to be more courageous like them. They're my biggest heroes.
How much
to
more ass
me.
kicking
They always
kissing
will
is she
be.
gonna do?
There's so many other humans on this planet that are my heroes. Ed and Lorraine Warren are some of the most, one of the few, very few
Oh my
amazing
God, Ed and
people
Lorraine
that
Warren.
I will always look up
Oh,
to. They're like the
they
mom
were
and pop
proven
of
that
demonology.
they're
And
hoaxes.
it's because of them that really brought me into this work and inspired me to do the same. I don't
She
know
watched a
where
movie
I
and she's
would
like,
be
"That's
if
what I
I
want to
didn't
do.
have the
That
faith
right
and
there.
the love
That's what I want to
in this
do."
universe to be able to overcome that. And I want to end this message, this video, this testimony with this.
Thank God.
Religion, or lack thereof, does not determine a person's ability in possession. Possession has nothing to do with a person's faith in religion or God or in anything like that. Faith, for me, is the faith in the universe, faith in love, faith in benevolence in the other realms that I count on, that we all really deep down count on. No matter what religion you feel in alignment with, or whatever faith you are in alignment with in any type of way, that is what can empower you through your experiences like that. You cannot, in my opinion, no person can overcome possession without that type of faith. And I haven't spoke about faith enough, but really this really tested my faith in many ways. This tested my ability to withstand these types of things and to overcome it. And you know, in the past I used to be so afraid of demons, afraid of devils.
Melinda?
But the truth is, the more I have faith in the love and faith in the benevolence, faith in the whole of all these amazing spiritual beautiful beings,
There
the
you go,
less
she told you.
fearful I become, because I
Very
know they'll
vaguely,
always
but-
have my back.
Yeah, right?
And I think that's the biggest lesson in it all, and I'm grateful for that. So I want to end this video with Thank you for watching my testimony, and I appreciate your love and support. But this is my story, this is my experience, and I hope it helps you in your journey in your life.
Oh my God. There you go, chat. We made it through a whole video. A whole video.
I haven't got any brain cells left.
All right, we got to talk about this at least a little bit. Get rid of that. Oh my God. So, overall,
that woman is not okay. She's not okay. She needs to be 51-50'd.
I agree. I agree. Apparently she's got a twin sister that just looks like tore back photos of her before she found out about makeup. I don't know what relevance that has to anything, but like there's many times that she's asked for money for her sister, not for herself, but she's like set up like GoFundMe's for her sister, for different shit. I guess one of them was because her teeth were all fucked up or some shit. And like, I mean, you look at it and you're like, Melinda, that's not your sister, that's you. Don't be lying. That's a picture of you from like fucking 15 years ago. That's what that is. Right? Before you discovered YouTube and makeup, that is a picture of you. You're just using your busted ass teeth, right? Saying it's your sister, trying to get some money out of people. Don't be lying now. You ain't got a lot to kick it. Yeah, no, like we will be doing like probably another reaction to her. Probably the one where she reacted to me and Sarah.
I really want to react to that one because that one's just it's gold. I love it.
So, and that one we can kind of skip through to the part where she's reacting to us. We don't really have to watch the whole thing because there's a lot of rambling in it. I think we should also react to the one that I reacted to that she deleted.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just so you can get a synopsis of like what it is that like she said before. Because the video's still up on the channel. So, be able to watch that. And because, I mean, the stuff that she said in there was just like over the fucking top. Like, I mean, she actually, I'm not going to lie, she like legitimately pissed me off with some of the stuff that she was saying in that video. But yeah, again, like I just want to reiterate the point here. Yeah, I mean, we take the piss out of Melinda quite a bit. We laughed at her, we joked around about, her appearance, whatever, the shit that she was saying. But the point, the biggest point, the biggest takeaway that I want people to take from this is be careful about your sources. Like, be careful about who you're watching and what you're listening to. Verify the information that you're getting, even from me, even from Dirah. Like, verify your sources, right? Of what they're talking about, what they're saying. If I say something, you got a question about it, look it up. Don't ask me, right? Look it up. Dirah says something, you got a question or doubt about it, look it up. Well, what do you think we do? Right? Like, when somebody says something we got a doubt, like, I mean, we look it up. I mean, shit, you see the amount of books this woman has. Like, I mean, I seriously reduced my collection down to like, the bare minimum. But like, no, I mean, she's got a full library over there. And that's what you need to do. Like, get a book, to do a Google search, read some articles, read some online information, and formulate your own opinion. Don't run with what I say just because I fucking say it. Don't run with what she says just because she fucking says it. And definitely don't run with fucking Melinda because of what she fucking says, because she's the easiest one to fucking debunk. Right? Like, 52,000 fucking subscribers, 52,000 fucking idiots. Now, to be fair, a lot of you have come over to my community, I guess, call it like the occultist community, right? Which is just Latin for occult. From these videos, like, you've come over from Melinda's channel and learned some shit. and changed your opinion. And I'm proud of you, those of you that have done that. You know, that have even those that have given my channel an opportunity and decided to stay over there with Melinda. Like, I'm proud of you for giving my channel an opportunity, giving the content an opportunity, and allowing yourself to be open enough to listen to something, a differing opinion, right? I've always said this, I'm not here to change your mind. I'm not here to convert you. I'm just here to provide a different perspective on what it is that's, you know, other people are saying, right? That's what this is all about. So, you know, even if you watch this video, you watch Dirah's video, and you're like, no, fuck you guys, Melinda's fucking God, Melinda's fucking everything. Well, you know, thank you for at least, like, you know, taking the opportunity to watch the videos and listen to a different perspective. That's a lot more than a lot of people would do. So I'm proud of you for that. Anyway, that being said, that is going to be the end of this video. And as I end everything, thank you all for watching. You guys are fucking amazing. And as always, hail thy fucking self. See you in the next one. Peace the fuck out. Done.